dear viewers, we are starting our work in the state television company Western Armenia. Broadcast for today. The 55th edition of Western Armenia weekly magazine has been published. Turkey's plan to conquer Syria is similar to turning Eastern Armenia into Western Azerbaijan. Epistemic dissonance of the Armenian nation. Kurm Yarut Arakelian. Entire districts of Stepanakert were razed to the ground. Evacuation from Aleppo is still not possible. Historical facts are distorted during the anti-Armenian conference held in Baku. Baku has started to salvage Armenian and Iranian culture and history. The 55th edition of Western Armenia weekly magazine has been published. The cover is unique and is distinguished by its historical and cultural importance. Hekna is on the cover of the edition. He is represented as a symbol of struggle, freedom and strength. The weekly magazine includes the following interesting topics: the 104th anniversary of Woodrow Wilson's arbitral award, Aznavour's songs and life, and the demolished residential buildings in Stepanakert, UNESCO's concern about the destruction of Artsakh cultural values, the 85-million-year-old sealed fossil found in Adıyaman, the Armenian costume of cars in the photos of Dmitry Yermakov, and other interesting materials you can find in this issue. Armenian, Turkish, Russian, and French versions are available. Ehsan Mohavadian, an Iranian political scientist and an expert on the Caucasian region, commented on Turkey's involvement in the event taking place in Syria in his blog. In particular, he writes as follows: that Turkey is trying to form a Turkmen state by occupying territories in northern Syria and northern Iraq. This is like turning Armenia into West Azerbaijan and seizing northern Cyprus to lead to rebellion. Syrian Turkmens are among the groups that are complicit in the crimes of the Takfiris whose ties extend to Turkey, writes the Iranian political scientist. He added that northern Syria and northern Iraq are under the influence of Turkey. The 4th century is a turning point in the history of Armenia, a period that continues to resonate in the nation's psyche to this day. The adoption of Christianity as the state religion in 301 under King Turdat III and under the influence of Gregory the Illuminator was a turning point. It is often celebrated as the beginning of a new era for Armenia. However, this forced apostasy also sowed the seeds of deep cognitive dissonance among the Armenian people, a conflict between their ancient ancestral roots and newly imposed Christian doctrine that continue to influence the nation's identity. You can read the whole article on the Western Armenian website. Agatangeghos appealed to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and UNESCO Director General Andrei Azoulay to send a mission to Artsakh to document cultural crimes committed against humanity and implement mechanisms to prevent further crimes. Honorable Ms. Azoulay, Honorable Mr. Guterres, the undersigned non-governmental organization representing the 2020 from the war and in 2023 persons displaced from Artsakh after forced deportation are writing to you to note the cases of deliberate and purposeful destruction and misappropriation of Armenian cultural heritage in the occupied territories of Artsakh. There are severe examples of cultural genocide carried out by the Azerbaijan authorities in 2020 during the 44-day war as well as it after that. Evacuation from Aleppo is not still possible. On 14 December, Armenian and Syrian who took refuge in Damascus and other regions will come to Armenia on the plane of the Syrian Al-Shami airline. We expect that the first group will come to Armenia in 10 days, but we are also in contact with the airline company. They are ready to continue if necessary. On the other hand, I think it is understandable that the Armenian population of other regions is also concerned, and we expect that a certain number of compatriots will come to Armenia, said Hovhannes Alexanian, a representative of the Office of the Chief Commissioner for Diaspora Affairs. The West Azerbaijan community, supported by the Baku authorities, organized an anti-Armenian conference in Baku today, which was attended by diplomats and more than 100 representatives of more than 25 countries, including Turkey, the USA, Great Britain, Germany, and France. Former Turkish foreign minister was among the guests. During the conference, President Ilham Aliyev made a speech and once again called the territory of Armenia Western Azerbaijan. He claimed that Azeris were subjected to ethnic cleansing and expelled from their historical homeland, and the goal of Western Azerbaijan community is to ensure their return to their land. Baku is appropriating not only Armenian culture but also Iranian culture and history. This time they consider the musician and calligrapher Urmavi to be Azerbaijani, but the reality is quite different. Musician, music theorist, calligrapher Safi al-Din al-Urmavi was born in 1216 in Urmia, Iran. He was Iranian by origin. Urmavi wrote in Persian and Arabic. There is no mention of Baku in the mentions of the Uravmi, and he never wrote in Azerbaijani language because in the 14th century there was no Azerbaijan people, no such language and no such state. Dear viewers, this was all for today. I wish you a good weekend. Goodbye.